What's up, guys? This is Colin Morrison, Recovery Today magazine for Scummy Unplugged. We're in a different location today, but we're here with Rob Hannley, editor-in-chief of Recovery Today magazine. Funny story, but this is the first time we've actually met face-to-face when we talk every week.
You're literally one of my very best friends. I mean, like, straight up. Good friend, you know, talk beyond just recovery, the magazine and stuff. So it's really cool to actually finally connect in person. But that's kind of how we live today, is virtual world.
I was just going to say that in today's era, it's weird how you can be friends and not even see
It's not weird, isn't it, at all? Like, it's you pick right up.
Feels like I've known you for a long time. But, dude, so Recovery Today magazine, you know, it's helped me in my recovery. I know it's helped so many people out there from all the different people that we interview. And this, I mean, I just do my section, but like everything that you have seen with this magazine, how you started with your brother, I don't even know where to start. How did you guys start Recovery Today magazine? I guess we'll start kind of from the beginning, and then we can talk about.
Well, first of all, you know, I just say, you know, one of the main things is the thing that I've been so happy and grateful about really is being able to connect with, like, you, become good friends, and meeting some really, really cool people. So the way that it started originally was, you know, I talked to Greg about...
and Greg is your brother.
Yeah, Greg Hannley, my brother, is a publisher of Recovery Today. And before the magazine happened, I said, you know, and he is, you know, one of the most renowned people in the addiction field, owns Sober Recovery, and I said, there should, you know, we ought to talk about doing a magazine, because there really wasn't anything that existed. There's some mental health magazines, and then there's people who have websites and things like that. But he had a background in magazines and publishing and things like that, the regular traditional kind. And that was kind of how the whole thing started. So as I put this together, started to kind of reach out to some people. I thought, well, you know, maybe we need there's some therapists that I can get to like write an article or do something like that. One of the first people, she's not here today to give her props, is Sherry Gaba. She was probably the most enthusiastic. I called her up, and right off the bat, she was like, oh my God, I love it. I want to help. I want to do, what can I do? Yeah. And so we launched the first issue. We have just published our 57th issue. And really the way that it's kind of become what it was, originally it was kind of like, not like a newsletter. You know, we wanted to do something that where people could, you know, get it for free and put like their email in, so that we would kind of be able to contact them or be in contact with them, not charge for it, but make it a lot better. But as we've progressed each and every issue, we've looked to really real simple thing is we want to make each issue better than the last issue. And so in the first issue that we did, I mean, even I looked at it, we've got amazing designers that are behind this and some really cool people, and everybody just kind of gets behind the whole cause of this. And even the first issue, I was like, oh my God, that looks like incredible. I was really amazed. And so the bar was already kind of high. And then from there, to make it like, well, can we do it again? Yeah. And so we did it again. It was like, and so each time, and then one of the very first real big influencers that came on, as Greg said, hey, how'd you like Daniel Baldwin? Greg sponsored the actor and director, Daniel Baldwin, and for the cover, and I said, yeah, I would like that. That would be really great. And so he was one of the first ones, and then since then we've had really a really enviable covers from everybody from Jamie Lee Curtis, Russell Brand, Congressman Patrick Kennedy. We've had just too many Olympic gold medalists to name, NFL players, NBA players. It's amazing. It's the coolest, the rock stars. I met you, and then we hit it off really well, and it's really just kind of a matter of finding people that have a common cause, and they, I don't know, they want to jump on board. Jennifer Jimenez, you know, a few issues ago, so it just kind of keeps picking up.
So many people, and that's what I think is so cool about the magazine, is it's a little bit for everybody in every issue, you know, like you got rock and roll, just what you said, sports, you got a little bit of everything, and it's just a great avenue to like dive in if you want to get sober, just kind of where to make that first step, and there's a little bit of everything in there in every episode.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever I love to write and I love to interview, I'm not often interviewed, but I always like to think like, well, who is the audience? Who is listening? And so from the very beginning, And even like on the website, who is this for? So Recovery Today is for anybody that is, they're not even in recovery. They're still kind of in the throes of addiction, or maybe trying to figure out, like, am I addicted, or maybe I need to make a change. So somebody that's kind of not there yet, to somebody that maybe is so excited, like they've been a month or two clean, they've got X number of days. And then all the way to like, my friend, Scotty, through Greg, that has, got like 30 years. So all the whole thing, that's the audience. And then to try to have some kind of nugget that is something that they can, we're dealing with such dark subject matter that every story, every interview, everything we do needs to have an uptick of hope. And so some kind of happy ending. And it's hard when we're talking about a deadly, contagious disease, but there's always some kind of hope, either for you or for somebody else. So some kind of hope, or maybe a takeaway or something like that. And because of the serious nature of what it is, everybody just kind of wants to get behind it and help, and that's kind of how the recovery community is. It's very special and very different than anything else that's out there.
When you're in the thick of addiction, like, any glimmer of hope goes so far. That's what's amazing about the magazine. You nailed it on the head, man. There's a lot of recovery in there, a lot of newly recovery. Everybody we get in the studio, it really pumps them up to be a part of it. It's just everything. I've been with the mag for a couple of years now. It's been an amazing part of my life, being able to do this and just being able to be in the family. It's a really cool honor. But yeah, wanted to get you in here, man, because there's a team of everybody. Scummy Unplugged, Greg, everybody. But like, you're the number. There's only one guy that puts it all really together. And I talk to you a couple times a week. You really work your ass off. And how long does it take to put together one of these magazines? They're looking at it right now if they're watching this. How long does it take to put
it takes a while. I mean, it's a good full-time effort, not for me, just for me, but for a number of other people, our design team. So there's kind of like the content contributors, and then there's the interviews, and then there's everybody even behind the scenes that's helping out even right now.
There's a lot of people behind the scenes. But.
Yeah, a lot. And so props to everybody. I mean, we always say, God, much love to everybody that helped contribute. And so there's the content that comes in. I'll get together, I'll think critically about what kind of content there's going to be. We have our regular features, Scummy Unplugged, and we've had all kinds of different regular features throughout the magazine. And we have a lot of people will email and say, I've got an article, or I want to. There's a lot of people that are behind the scenes here. There's even the people that are, filming now, Renee and everybody. And but there's content that comes in. There's people that are constantly emailing us and trying to submit articles, and it goes from everybody from just somebody that's really not a writer. They're just excited about recovery and they want to share their story. So we have a section in the magazine called Our Readers Speak, where we can have like people that aren't like it's not like they've got a book or they're anything, a coach. They just want to share their story. And then it goes from there, it goes to design, and then we kind of put it all together, and there's always a bunch of mistakes and errors. And the cool thing about Recovery Today, in terms of like what the magazine is, the most common question people will ask all the time is, sometimes they'll say, like, do you have a real magazine? Is there something that you can mail me? I like to say we're a modern multimedia magazine. So it's in the form of an app. It's on everybody's got their mobile device. And so you can click and go right to an author's book. You can click and go right to somebody's website. When this feature here will be in probably our next issue, and somebody had watched it by clicking this, and then they can go somewhere. So all of those things have to work, and then there's software. It's a big process.
Yeah,
but
I get that question a lot about the real magazine. And
can you mail one to
exactly,
me, or is it only online? Type of thing.
It's 2019. Everybody's on their phone. I read the articles all the time.
It's a mobile magazine.
It's great. So on you, are you sober? How does this? Did you have any problems with addiction?
Yeah, so I'm the last of 8 kids. Greg, our publisher, is my older brother. And, you might say it kind of runs in the family. Some kind of have the gene, you might say. Some don't have the gene, depending on who you would ask. But I've been sober personally now for 25 years.
Wow.
And I've had my my dark stories and stuff like that. I'm happy and grateful, thankful that it's not as dark as a lot of stories that I've had. But like everybody, it's a personal decision, and I just chose years ago, like, this isn't something that I wanted really to see if I could live a life that was going to be free alcohol and drugs. And so,
did seeing your brother go through like some of his dark times, did that ever help you? Like, I don't want to go down that direction?
I mean, it's funny. I'm kind of laughing because as we spent some time over the last couple of days, there are some really crazy stories about stuff. And it's funny. I mean, thank God, like, nobody, got hurt or injured. They don't always turn out these ways, but some of this stuff, it's like, oh my God, that was so crazy. I mean, that happened. So there's a good, good amount of it, and a good share of it, and now you kind of, everything happens for a reason, and turning around, and now we can, kind of have a message like this.
It does happen for a reason, man. It's crazy. I mean, even how we linked up, I saw Mike Catherwood was on an issue.
That's right. He was
on
a great
Instagram,
cover.
and I reached out to you.
Radio here in LA, yeah.
It's just funny how you get sober, you do the right things in life, how all the good things really land in your lap. I feel like it's an amazing life being sober, man. And I want to personally thank you for being a friend and being who you are behind the magazine, man. It's cool to have a face behind who really puts the magazine together. There's a whole team. It would go on forever, everybody, but you're the kind of main guy that puts it all together every month. And I just want to say thank you for making a great magazine, man.
I really appreciate that, and thank you. And we wouldn't have a magazine again if it wasn't for my brother and for everybody else behind the scenes, and then from all of our content contributors. One thing that I think is really important for everybody to know, and now only over about the last 5 or 6 months, I thought I'm going to kind of start to come out a little bit more to the front. I enjoy doing interviews. I'm probably overly naturally inquisitive. My brother says, "You ask too many questions." Well, I don't know. I just have this need to learn from people. And but the real truth of it is, I love doing this. It's a lot of hard work, but I really enjoy it. And I truly can say, like, if I won Powerball or something like that, I would continue to do it, because I don't know where kind of a regular, normal, non-famous person. I mean, you lived like a rock star lifestyle, traveling the world and doing things like that. And so, meeting super famous people, you could do a lot easier than just a kind of a normal person on the street. And the fact that I can have conversations and get to have relationships and be friends with somebody that's famous, or different people that I've had the ability to interview, the opportunity to interview, and really have not just like a surface kind of conversation, but to have like a real deep. It might be about depression or something that happened. I'm just eternally grateful for. So it's really probably the best adjective I would probably say is I'm just overly grateful. I finish meeting people yesterday. Well, you'll know from the cover of probably this interview, our cover was Sugar Ray Leonard, and we had a great interview with him. And it's like, where and when would I have an opportunity to meet him other than can I have your autograph, or maybe can I do a selfie? So to have a real conversation with him, with you, with all the other people that we've had in the covers, all the future covers, it's the coolest thing in the world, man.
It's amazing. I got to interview Nikki Sixx with you on the phone.
With Nikki Sixx from
That's
Motley
my
Crue,
dream
man.
from
That was
day
so
one,
cool.
all because of Recovery
Dave Navarro, I think we did too, yeah.
So thank you and your brother Greg. You guys are doing something so amazing that I know personally is saving lives. I get messages all the time, like people that they need hope to get their life back, and they go to the magazine, man, and that helps. So you guys are doing a really good thing. I'm honored to be a part of this, and I just want to say thank you, man.
I appreciate it, bro. Really, thank you. And for anybody that's out there, the one thing I really want to try to have people do is if you think that the magazine is cool or you have got any uptick of hope, and maybe it's not just substance abuse, maybe it's gambling or pornography or depression or traumatic brain injury, whatever it might be, because we are a magazine of hope, is if you know somebody else, I mean, we're free. So, you know, shoot an email. It's digital. It's not like they gotta get it in their mailbox or you gotta put it in a backpack and bring it into the office or something. Just give somebody a link and help us continue to go viral. And for everybody that has, I mean, thanks for sharing us and being so cool.
What's the email they can reach at?
So the email address is support@recoverytodaymagazine.com. Support at Recovery Today Magazine, and I typically see most all the emails that come in, and try our best to get back to everybody. And so if you got a great story or something like that, please contact us. And
it's amazing.
Thanks again, bro.
It was an honor, man.
All right, bro. It's my pleasure.
But it's nice to meet you for the first time after a couple of years.
Yeah.
Rob Hannley, we're out, you guys. Thank you.